Alright guys, welcome back to Gran Turismo 3. We are back with the prize car only challenge playthrough, and we've gotten a lot of stuff done the last few days. We've gotten some really cool additions to the garage, including the Torino Apex Shigino version. It's a really cool car. I'm really excited to have this one because this is a car that I've actually wanted to mess around with in this game, so I'm really stoked to have this in the garage. I don't think we're going to be quite making use of it yet today. I'm going to try to see where we are in the game, what we still have left to do, and what we can do at this point. So obviously in the beginner league, there's still a decent bit of stuff to do. I want to get some cash flow in though before we start working on some of these other ones, just simply because I'm going to have to build some of these cars still. Obviously the Type R stuff, we can use the spoon. The NSX should be able to clear this pretty easily on its own though. I'm going to build the VITs because we will need it for the professional league VITs race to get the Altezza to run in the Altezza race series. Obviously the Mercedes stuff I'm saving for dead last. And then the TT I have as stock as well. So we still have a little bit of work to do in the beginner league with just these amateur event, these beginner league one make stuff. So what we can do is we can go ahead and do the Type R meeting today. We can also handle some stuff in the amateur league, which is what I may do here because there's a lot of stuff we can do with some of the cars that I currently have, and that way we can get some cash flow up. So that's, I think, what we're going to do today. I think we're going to focus on that. So we do have the front wheel drive stuff, which more likely be the Beetle Cup cars work. I am going to bring the Nismo back out though. It's been a while since we've driven the Nismo 400R, and now that is what I'm going to bring out today for today's work. We're going to do the 4-wheel drive challenge in the amateur league and see what kind of new additions we get there. Alright, off we go. So we got Super Speedway, Apricot Hill, and Grand Valley. Should be a fairly painless run of races, but we'll see how this goes because it's always been very interesting, this game. Alright, 5 laps at Super Speedway with the Nismo 400R with tire wear on. I think we're on a pretty conservative tire setup, so I don't think we're on like super slicks or anything. Even if we are, I don't think 5 laps here will really tear us up too much. Alright, here we go. And it's turn 1, a pretty quick lead. I kind of expected that. This thing is a rocket. Around turn 2 as we head onto the back straight. Oh, we do have a 6th gear. Okay. I think the first one make we'll handle more than likely once we get the cash flow for it is the VITs race, just because we're really going to need to get some juice out of that car to win the VITs race in the professional league and for the beginner league stuff, which is why I wanted to do that first, because we're going to need that car for 2 major events in this run. So I think that'll probably be the car we put the most focus on first, and then we'll handle the other stuff later. Obviously, the Altezza Cup will be able to solo it with the Altezza LM, or yeah, I think this will be the LM race car in this game. I don't think it became the Altezza Touring car until later games. All right, entering lap 3. A pretty solid lead. This thing is just flies on the straights, so I don't think we're gonna have very much competition in this one at all. 3-second gap. So we are wearing these tires out pretty quick. I do see a hint of yellow. I don't know what set we're on in this car, but regardless, probably just have to send it if it's on the super slick or the super softs, because I don't really have a lot of cash flow, and I'm needing to get cash flow up in order to afford to build the VITs. We are going to also need to build that E86 as well for the 80 Sports Car Cup, which is stuff we'll handle in due course as well. But my main focus is I want to handle the stuff that I can do with existing cars first. That way that cash flow can be devoted to other cars to get them ready for these final races we'll have to do to finish this game off. Alright, entering turn 3 and 4. This track, if you actually didn't know, I know it's pretty common knowledge at this point if you're a Gran Turismo fan, this track is actually based on Twin Ring Motegi's Super Speedway. Which is why in later games, the Twin Ring Motegi layout replaced this track. Which is a bit of a shame. This track's just kind of iconic, in my opinion. Especially in these early GT games. Of course, I grew up with this version, not the GT2 version. So when we got to GT2, And when I played through that last year, seeing this track different really threw me off. All right, okay, here we go. The last couple of corners to go to wrap this one up. I'm gonna understeer a good bit. At least that front right is going through it right now, and it's definitely going to slow us down. We are going to make a slight wall tap, but we are going to take home the race win on this one with the Nismo. And our final gap was a 2.7 second gap, so not quite as much of a blowout as I would have liked it to be, but we were definitely fighting against the car a little bit there. Extra $5 grand in the bank. All right. So this will definitely be pretty interesting, these next few races. Ugh. So we got Apricot Hill reverse layout, otherwise known as Apricot Hill 2 in this game. Alright, so 5 laps at Apricot Hill. Let's see what tires we're on with this car, because that might be tricky. Alright, we're on medium, so pretty friendly tire, I think. That limiter is so aggressive. There we go, we are off at Apricot Hill. 5 laps here in the reverse layout. We should be okay tire-wise for this, as long as we're just nice and easy on the tires. I think what will warn them out so quick at Super Speedway is just because you're constantly fighting the tires. You're not on a lot of straights there. Whereas here we've got a decent bit of straights. These cold tires, though, are definitely giving us a lot of power slides. Oh boy. All right, right up to a 3-second gap with over that Subaru wagon, which I love seeing, actually. All right, gonna fire out of this corner here. Try to get a little bit of grip. She's a little oversteery. A little bit understeer. The tires do appear to be warmed up now, so hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more grip out of it than what we've seen so far. Man, this track has always been difficult with the controller for me for some reason. Man, this thing cannot stay out of the dirt right now. I'm doing the best I can to keep this car on the road. Cornering is less than impressive right now. All right, lap 2. The 3-second gap here. That latter half of the lap with this car definitely isn't very good. This first half lap's pretty solid, though. Man, this thing is just not wanting to play super nice with me right now. Rear end's going to slide a little bit here. We're going to catch it real quick, straighten up, and we should be able to fire off here and make some progress quickly. A little bit understeer here coming out of this corner here, and we are going to be able to fire off and get to this gravel trap that I thought was way further to the left than it was. It's a little bit of a blind corner, and I don't typically play in third person, as y'all know. All right, got 3 laps to go at this point. We're around the last couple corners. We are up to 3.6-second gap here, so we are starting to pull away very slowly. So we head into lap 3. So far, so good with this car. Pretty sloppy, a little bit of driving here. But this car is definitely a bit of a handful. It's been a while since I've driven this car in here as well, so I blame the car a little bit. All right, heading down the straightaway here as we enter this corner. We're going to hang on for dear life. I did the same thing on that corner. Thought it was a little further to the left, and it got me again. All right, to the final corner. 2 laps to go here at Apricot Hill. So far, so good with this thing. That one corner is killing me a little bit with that. How far to the left that gravel trap actually, how not far to the left that gravel trap actually is. And it is definitely catching me out a little bit here, but we're okay. Come down the hill into this S here. A lot of understeer there. Tires look like they're going to be more than manageable getting into that last lap. Right, into the hairpin. Kind of pedal it a little bit, get back on full throttle as we exit the corner. The thing is hanging on really well, surprisingly enough. Now this long right sweeper. And here we go up to the corner that has been catching me out all day. I'm going to try to not let it catch me out this time. It almost does. Got a lot of understeer here. All right, final lap. Here we go. It was a solid lap that time, up to a 3.7-second gap. These tires, though, are starting to be a little borked, and apparently I'm running out of talent as well. Getting ready to come down this hill down into the hairpin. Coming down the hill here, didn't get caught out again by that corner. That front left is about cooked. There we go, come on. Around the last corner. That was a rougher race than I'd like it to be, but we made it through, we survived, and that is a race win. Phew. All right, I don't like how messy that was. All right. Yeah, we'll wrap that one up. All right, we got one more race to go here, and that will polish up this Amateur League event. We got Grand Valley, more than likely 5 laps here. This will be a lengthy race, I already know. Grand Valley is such a long track, and of course we didn't have the Grand Valley East layout back during the Gran Turismo 3 era. We were just at Grand Valley, so this is going to be a fairly lengthy race. Luckily, the 400R is fairly fast. I'm going to go in first person, or not necessarily first person, but bumper view, so I can be a little bit more competitive this time. For turn 1, big slide. You know, I haven't ever really remembered seeing anything from Redline synthetic oil. I don't know if that's a fictional brand or if it was a brand in the early 2000s that kind of went defunct or what, but I've never seen Redline synthetic oil that I remember in stores. Obviously, I know Bridgestone Potenzas are. People still run Bridgestone Potenzas. The RE71RS, I believe, is a Potenza. It's a really solid tire. It's a mold tool. I personally actually run mold tool in my car, so I'm glad to see the signs there. We're going to fire through this. This has gone much better so far. More than likely because I'm using the bumper view. And for some reason, I'm just faster with that view in this game. I guess because I learned how to play this game in bumper view. When I was a young kid. I do love the later hood view that we got in GT4. If we could get that again in this game, I would love it. Maybe with GT3 concept, they'll find a way. A lot of understeer coming out of that last corner. We're going to stick it to the road here. And get ready to enter lap 2 of 5, nearing a 2-minute lap here. This might be a lengthier race. We're definitely going to save some time going into these next few laps because we've obviously got a running start. But this race will definitely be what closes this video out for us because this is going to be a fairly long race. Similar to the Tahiti Maze round did on a couple videos ago. How that took up so much time in both of those episodes, honestly. No, swung a little too wide there. Try to be careful hitting the brakes and gravel just because I know it will spin us out quick, fast, and in a hurry. A little bit of a slide there. Your tires are already yellow, which makes me a little nervous going into the latter half of this race. Which, in a couple corners, should be about the halfway point of this race. This is probably it right here, the halfway point of the race itself. 2.5 laps in. As we enter onto the very aesthetically pleasing bridge. And into the tunnel. This long sweeper. I know I've talked about it ad nauseum at this point between this and the GT4 German luck we did a few months ago, but I miss the original layout of Grand Valley in GT7. Like, the new, I don't know, the new layout has never stuck with me. I prefer the old layout much more. And I don't know why Polyphony did that. I really don't know why they felt the need to fix what wasn't broken to begin with. This is a really good track at the very beginning, and they could have just left it as is. And added it to the European side or the Japanese side because the American part of World Circuits already has plenty of tracks. I mean, I think America has the majority of the fictional circuits in GT7 right now. Got a 153 on that last lap, pretty solid time. 3 laps to go at this point, including this one. We're gonna swing wide again on that corner there. Looks like might have to lift a little bit or change up my line on that corner to keep from going off in the gravel. All right. Into the first tunnel, about halfway through the lap. Those guys are keeping up surprisingly well, considering this is like an 800 horsepower car. Alright, into the very slow speed S's here at the end of the lap. A little bit of a slide there. All right, we're going to be getting ready to enter lap 4. That Subaru is keeping up surprisingly well. It's a very fast wagon. All right, lap 4. 2.8 second gap over that Subaru. We definitely lost a lot of ground in that last lap there. I mean, we were 3 seconds off the pace in comparison to lap 2. Head into these fast corners up here before we head down the hill into that really tight hairpin. We're going to lift a little bit so we don't quite go off-road this time. Brake hard going to the hairpin. This game and GT4 do not react well to threshold braking. I will say that. We gained about a full second off of that loss of time from lap 3 already. Lost a lot of speed there, though, as we head onto the bridge. Into the tunnel. Long right sweeper. Lost about 1/10 of ground so far. Try to pedal it a little bit. That front left is about cooked on this car. You know, the low speed stuff here. Alright, here we go. Firing out of here. The Subaru is close behind. We'll lift here a good bit. If not, dab the brakes slightly to keep from going off. We are going to still go off, though. The front tires definitely have seen better days. Let's hope we can hang on one more lap. It was actually a second slower somehow. About the same gap, though, to the Subaru. Not the best line to take through turn 1, but it's best I can do right now with these tires. The rears, thankfully, still have a little bit of use still on them, but they won't be too far behind, I'm sure, in the wear department. That front left is now bright red. See, that was just straight understeer. I couldn't do anything about that, unless I just wanted to slam the brakes and go absolutely slow through that corner. This thing is nothing but understeer right now. Alright, entering about the halfway point of the lap. Lots and lots of understeer there. Gonna round this corner to the second tunnel of 3. Almost forget there's 3 tunnels on this track. Alright, on to the legendary Blue Bridge one more time this race. We have no grip left in our front tires. They are completely cooked. Gonna hang on for your life. We were able to pull that second back, though. That 9/10 that we lost in the last lap back. But we're more likely going to lose it right back in this slow speed section here. There we go. Alright, we're definitely going to be losing a lot of speed here because this thing cannot corner anymore. We're going to power on, though. And that is going to cruise to a very, very sketchy at the end there race win. 2-second lap, our slowest lap the whole race, actually. We worked out 3.3 second gap to the Subaru in second place. Good way to close this out. Let's see what our prize car for the day is. That could have gone better, but hey, we had a lot of fun with it. That's all that matters. Our prize car is... It has a wing of some sort. Maybe this is an Evo? It is. Is this the... It's the Evo 7. I forget the GTA is not in this game. I think it's the Mandela effect, butterfly effect, one of the two. No, it's definitely a Mandela. Butterfly is something else. The Mandela effect that the Evo 7 GTA was in this game, when it isn't. actually. I do like this champagne gold color, though. It's a really pretty color, and this is another Evo we can add to the stable. Maybe what we use to take on the Evo meeting in this game instead of using the yellow Evo again. But that will be later if I decide to go with that route, because my Evo 4 is already tuned up. This one already makes good numbers and all that stuff. So anyway, I think that is where we're going to wrap this one up today. And yeah, on that bombshell, we now have 3 Evos. I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more coming soon, and take care, guys.